So, good evening, everyone. It is Motivational Monday, and I do realize that I am coming on this evening, and it is a little late. It's Motivational Monday, and I am pushing it. I am so, I am so extremely tired, but I'm definitely living proof of when you put your mind to do something, you can do it, and you have to keep pushing past what things feel like or what things look like. If you made a vow to the Lord, you told the Lord you do something, the Lord is not worried about the obstacles that are put in your place. He's worried about, are you going to be committed to what you said you were going to do? So on today, on this Motivational Monday, I just wanted to encourage you guys to sow, to sow. I might lose some of y'all right now. But just so we are on our last stretch of the community day, and everything is going well. I mean, it is going well. So this year we've done some things different. We wanted to really bring you guys some resources. Really wanted to bring some vendors out there that could really heat you, could help you, that could meet you where you are mentally, that can meet you where you are. At anything that you need as far as trying to reach out to as many vendors as I could. We've got 41 vendors at the moment. So we are closing everything. You guys had an opportunity. We were supposed to close down at June 18th, but we still let people in because there were some really, really good resources that were coming through. And so these are our vendors, and we've got people on the back. Okay, so everything is good to go for this weekend. I just need help with some finances. I do have a goal that I want to meet. I'm almost to that goal. Let me see if I can pull that up so where you guys can actually send. You can use any one of these. We've got Cash App, we've got Venmo, we've got and you can even do Square, because some people said that they don't have either one of those. But so we've got Square, so you guys can help us out with resource. I'm not here to beg you or anything like that. So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to take, as you guys know, yeah, I'm sorry. So, as you guys know, today is the anniversary of my son's death. And I just wanted to just step on to let you guys know that I'm living proof that you can make it through whatever it is that you're going through. There's nothing too hard that God cannot do. I'm a living witness that God can heal you from the unforgiveness. He can heal you from the bitterness. He can heal you from the rage, all of the crazy stuff that's going on in your mental. And you don't have to be that person that has lost a loved one. You could just be a person that's just dealing with trauma or drama. I'm a witness that God actually can keep you. And so today, on this Motivational Monday, I know I seem like I'm overwhelmed. I'm just tired, that's all. But I'm like, my whole spirit, man, is just leaping and is jumping. So you got to have discernment to see that I really am in a good place. I decided this year that I was going to put myself and also make sure that my mental stability was at a good place. Last year I was just all over the place, just running, just trying to make sure that everybody was okay. And so for the past couple weeks, I've noticed that I have been there for everybody else, to support everybody else on. And there's a moment that I needed for myself. I needed a moment to breathe. Want to just encourage you to not focus on people being there for you when the Lord gives you a vision, right? Don't sit there and don't have expectations on people, because listen, people will fail you every time. They will let you down. But listen, when God is in the thing, it don't matter, because he's so phenomenal at what he does. Is he won't let people even connect to the vision that he's giving you, and you sitting back, just twirling your fingers like, okay, are they gonna help? Are they going to be a part? Are they going to support? And God is like, no, no, I several times. I'm not going to let them do this year because where you're going, I need to get all the glory. So listen, I just want to tell you my motivational message is to stay focused in the middle of doing the will of God or doing a project. Stay focused. Don't get discouraged. Listen, so many things may fumble in front of you. Just use them as stepping stones. When you see what you see, because God will make sure that you see he will make sure that you see how a thing really is, or you see what a thing really is, and you've got to embrace it and realize this is God showing me my reality. But don't get stuck there, because at the end of that, you still got an assignment to do. And God is expecting for you to do that assignment. He's expecting for you to come through. Listen, the funny thing about it, hey, Carter, and that is what I'm doing. I'm taking a day of self-care. I know you can see it. I know you can hear it. I'm really tired. I got a lot that's going on. I'm really, really tired, but I cannot stop. I can't stop. I've got to stay focused. And God does not give you moments to say, oh God, I'm really going through. I can't do this. No, He expects for you to fulfill the assignment. If He's put it in your lap, then it's His job to make sure that there is provision. And so that's what I'm doing. I said earlier that I've got a goal. I'm trying to reach a goal. I do need finances to do this. But if you choose not to, God is still going to provide. He's still going to make a way. I'm just, as being Meshell, I just don't know how. That's just my natural man. But then my spirit man says, listen, girl, you've been doing this so many times and God has provided every single time. So again, as I was saying, to not put a mandate or do not put expectations on people, because people may not come through for you, but God is always going to come through. And I don't know if it's a song. I don't think it's a scripture, but it says He may not come when you want Him, but He's always on time. And listen, let me tell you something, Carter, my time don't look like God's time, because if I went by my time, I expect for God to have done it last month. In God's time, it may be, you know what, I may use one individual and come through for you the night of. And so I'm just sitting there, and in the middle of my process, I'm literally seeing the wonderful, abundant blessings that God is doing, and the favor that God is doing and making this thing come to pass. There's so many doors that have opening. It had nothing to do with me. I can't take any credit. There are some people who are actually they're volunteering, and I'm just grateful for that. We don't have too many volunteers, but listen, God is saying, Carter, that He's going to show He's going to show us what He's done in the previous times. He's going to show us the miracles and the blessings of what He's done in the previous times. Because we get so elevated and we get so high-minded where we think that so-and-so is going to be our resource, or this church is going to be our foundation, or you know what I mean, or this chapter or this organization is what's going to bring the finances in. And God will strip you of every bit of that, and He'll give you an assignment, and He'll put you out there blind, and He'll make you run forward, and you have no nothing. Like, you'll literally have no nothing. And then you'll see everybody else who's doing the same assignment with resources and networks and grants and all that kind of stuff. And you're looking like, God, okay, I mean, I don't get this. I see the vision, and you've made the vision plain. But the scripture says to write the vision. It says, and to make it plain, so that the people who see the vision will run with it. So you don't need finances. You do. And it may not come from support. It may come from the people who see the vision and the people that run with it. Listen, baby, you only need one person to support you. You only need that one person to believe in you. You only need that one person to trust in you. Listen, that one person can have 75 other links to resources that may work for you. So I had people who were putting up flyers, and they were putting up videos that I had made. I didn't know where the videos were going to fall. I didn't know where the flyers were going to fall. I didn't know which laps they were going to fall in, but that was God's business. That wasn't my business at all. All the Lord told me to do was to make it and to present it, and the people that see it could run with it and make the vision plain. So that's what I'm asking you guys on tonight. I'm asking that you will see the vision, that you will see the sensitivity of the vision, that you will see the call of the vision, that you will feel that you will feel the mandate of the vision, because there are people that are struggling. And my message has been, there are people who are homeless. There are people who are lacking. There are people who are without, that look just like you and look just like me. I am so sorry. Unbelievable. I'm sorry, y'all. My phone rang, but there are people who look just like you, and there's people that look just like me who are going through, and we have to take ministry outside of the four walls. Like your neighbor that's sitting right beside you may need a helping hand. It is our job. We're obligated. It is our duty. It is ministry to go and make sure that those people are okay. So I ask that you will grab a hold of our hands. I ask that you will grab a hold of the vision, and I ask that you will go out in these streets with us, and that you will help us to meet the call. These are the ways to give. I'm not going to harass you. I'm not going to harass you. I'm not going to beg you. But if you feel in your heart that you would like to sow into the ministry, sow into the work that we're doing, we would love to have your help. And that is about all that I have to say. I just wanted to be able to push past what I was feeling, push past what I was going through, and to do what I was supposed to do today. Today is Motivational Monday, and no matter what, God has got your back. No matter what, God has got you lifted up. No matter what, like, just take a minute and snatch yourself from all the cares of life. Because guess what? People will utilize you until you don't have anything else left in you. And then when it comes time to support you, they'll stand to the side and watch you. But baby, one thing about this work, one thing about this assignment is that God is not going to let it fall to the ground. And you got to think about the same way. You got to think that same way. You got to have that same zeal. You got to have that same motivation, that it may not look like it's working for you. Listen, the scripture says that all things work together for the good of them. So even though it may seem like there's a drought right now, even though it may seem like there's lack right now, I need you to find the good in everything. Like this assignment that God has given me, nobody can tell me that nobody can tell me that God's not in this. It's been so many open doors. It has been so many connections. It has been so, I mean, it's been so much that has been God. It has nothing to do with an individual, has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with a church or an organization. It has to do with God. And God has a bigger plan. I don't know what that plan is, but God has a bigger plan. And so we just ask that you will connect with me. As you all see, I'm not real good at asking for money. I'm not that good at asking for resources. Matter of fact, I suck at that. I'm so used to doing it on my own. I'm so used to making it happen. But I definitely wanted to give the opportunity, because there were some people who said that they would like to sew, but they didn't know how to sew. So I said I would take a minute and I would just come before you. I've had a lot of people say, they need to see your face. You need to let them know. It's not too much that I can tell you, except for we're doing ministry outside of the four walls. This is still ministry. And the only thing that God told me to do is to bring the fish all in one place. It is the leader's job. It is the church's job to do the recruiting. We're even asking for churches to come out. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Pastors, leaders, where you at? We need you to come on out and meet these people, because this is ministry. This is literally ministry. You don't know what people need. You don't know what people are going through. It's way more than money right now. It's way more than giving away food right now. It's the aftercare. It's the aftercare. So after this community day, there needs to be people who are linked up and people who are in place to make sure they meet the needs of these people. What's wrong with a hug? What's wrong with just sitting with an individual and allowing that individual to talk? Not every matter of fact, what does homelessness look like? Does homelessness does it have a look? It really doesn't have a look. Just our expectations of what a homeless looks like, but it really doesn't have a look. It doesn't, because it's people just like you. It's people just like me that are struggling, that are laying on other people's couch. This is my last thing. I learned. I was in a meeting, and I was in a meeting last week, and I was under so much stress. I was under so much warfare, right? And I began to just give my testimony to to the volunteers that were there. We had a handful of volunteers that were there, and those volunteers are amazing. I thank you for trusting my vision. Thank you for being there. Thank you for supporting me along the way. And I was just sharing. I was just sharing the vision. I just was sharing, my take. I was sharing my story. I was sharing what God has got me given when I need. God has got me motivating and encouraging when I need. God has got me, you know what I mean? And so I was just sharing that. And I said, I couldn't stop and think and focus about me, because this is ministry. And ministry comes before my needs. Ministry comes before my wants and my desires. Once you do God's business, He will automatically take care of your business. And so I began to share my story. I began to share my story to the fullness, not the church testimony. I didn't, beat around the bush or tiptoe around my story based upon how other people want me to share the story. I told my truth the way that it is. And one thing I realized is that when you really begin to give your testimony, or you really begin to give your truth, other people may be uncomfortable in your victory, but it's your story. It's your testimony. And so I began to just share what it was, what I was going through. And one of the individuals that was in the meeting stood up and said that they were in the same place and they were grateful that I shared my story. And that was so encouraging to me. That was so inspiring to me, because, the church had me thinking that don't tell your story the way that it is. And for so long, we've been giving our church testimony. We've been fixing it out. We've been doctoring it out. We've been sugarcoating our messages. Your message is you're struggling. Your message is you're depressed right now. Your message is you don't know how God is going to work it out right now. And just you being in that spot and you sharing your story, just people looking at you they would be in awe, like, wait a minute, I didn't know she was going through that. I didn't know he was going through that. You know what I mean? And then they begin to see the glory of God right in your present situation. So I guess my motivational message is to share your story the way that it is. And don't worry about people that are feeling uncomfortable about your truth. They will be just fine. Because guess what? It's your process. And nobody can walk through this process better than you. I just need you to be strong. I just need you to hold on. I just need you to breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Because God has got this. We are almost right at the end of this. We are right at the tip, and I truly believe that there is coming a breakthrough for us. But do God's business, and when you do God's business, He will open up. He will open up the floodgates. I promise you. I feel it. I don't see it. I don't have it. Um, I don't know it, but I trust God. I have faith. Scripture says faith is the substance of things that are hoped for, but it's the evidence of things that are not seen. And there's some things that I've given to God. There's some things that there's some things that I've given to God. Okay, so it looks like all of my devices are connected together. I don't know why that is, and people are deciding to call, but I'm almost out of here. But there's some things that I've given to God. There's some things that there's some emotions, there's some questions. There's a lot of things that I've given to God, and I know that God is going to come through. So in order, you may say, well, Meshell, how do you maintain? Meshell, how did you stay focused? Meshell, how do you not give up? Meshell, how do you keep pushing? Just knowing that there's something bigger on the other side of this trial, knowing that there's something greater at the end of this process, knowing that there's a reason for me crying, there's a reason for me going through, there's a reason for me seeing the things that I see. And just having faith that God has got this. And at the end of this, there's a testimony that's going to come behind your process that's going to cause you to be able to reach out to the masses, to the nations. You just have to trust God. We may not understand it now, but God has got this. And so that's my message. You guys have an amazing rest of your evening and do it on purpose. Good night.